In a world of unlimited resources, there are some that are more important for your success. We're going to talk about those today, everybody. Stay tuned for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little discussion here. It is so important to have the environment. They talk about if you're going to have success, tell me if you agree with this statement. Success exudes from the environment that you put yourself in life. Who do you associate with, the mentality you have. I watched another podcast where they talked about, the guy said, I wrote hundreds of books about life and how to be successful and all the things. He said, if there's one thing I could adjust that would make for my success, it's the attitude you have. Your attitude is controlled by your environment. How many people become very frustrated simply because it's warmer in that room or colder in that room than they are comfortable with? If you want to, and it's just like the first thing that affects you. Now you can't get your computer, you can't focus. I mean, these are things that people need. I'm not trying to overemphasize how important heating and cooling is. We're so blessed in this country to have these resources. You might know places in the world where heating and cooling is not an option. It's like we know places in the world where there's like dirt floors and the sun, and you get a fan. That's the best you got. In America, we do have the luxury of having these things, but it's a matter of productivity. We're going to get into the technology and stuff here too. But if there's one thing that you would say sets your business apart, what would you argue that is based on experience?
As far as technology goes?
Experience or technology, or what is it you really bring to the table? Work ethic, I think, obviously you come from a...
If I can
background like that?
Isolate just one feature, I'm gonna say it's honesty. And example of honesty is on every single team meeting that we have, and every single time I stand in front of my team, I always reinforce the fact we don't take advantage of anybody, we help everybody, and there is only one way to do that. Be honest about it. We know it's expensive. Services are expensive. We already know homeowners facing expense that they didn't plan, because nobody plans that their AC is going to go out.
Hey guys, what do you think about we have the AC go out today? What do you think?
Yeah, nobody does that. I mean, people plan, we're going to buy new furniture, we're going to update the kitchen, but nobody plans, oh, AC's out, honey, we got to spend $15,000. Nobody does that.
Right.
So we already know that when we're helping homeowner, they're facing something that they did not plan. So we don't want to go out and create more frustration. We go out and create a solution.
Eric, expound upon that from your perspective. Up and coming business owner here, vice president of the company. Tell me what your perspective is on that.
Yeah, I would agree that honesty is definitely something that we always take pride in, and
it's vital, isn't it? I mean,
it is vital. It is very important.
It's something that I'm teaching Eric that he's going to continue doing, because consumers and people in general in the United States, in America, have a choice. So we're not the only company that can help them. We know that. So we're not even the best company in general sense, right? There's no such thing as the best. But what we are is we approach them with honesty, and we don't mislead them, and we do our best to help them quickest, most efficient, and the most reasonable way possible every time.
That's what makes a business successful. Write this stuff down, everybody. I'm breaking out the pencil here. Adam has given us some insight. Literally, it's that short-term gain I talk about, that you can manipulate and connive and misrepresent and get an extra little profit right now, but that really hurts you as an individual or a business owner long-term, because you can't do that consistently and have a success, right? And you want to get right every time.
You can't get rich overnight. It's not. I mean, unless somebody does something that's not legal.
Or there's some extraordinary.
Yeah, that's
and you just wonder. I mean, I'm thinking of that song that came out.
Yeah.
I want Old Town. That guy came out of nowhere, a #1 hit. I hope he's been able to sustain that, because very often when you have that one-time splash, hopefully you made some incredible invention and you got the patents all done and you made all your money and you can retire. But that's the anomaly. That's not the normal.
Yeah, us working people, we don't get rich overnight.
It's a consistency, working day, working night, always doing what's right. I'm glad you emphasized that point. I can't say that, certain every other guest would have talked about that, but whatever came to mind. But honesty literally makes so much your life so much easier.
And I'm not saying that my competitors are dishonest. I'm just saying that that's our core. We will treat you like your family. That's it. No big corporate games. Even though I don't get out and work. I don't do service calls. I stay in office. Sometimes I'm going to go on a sales call. I manage company.
Yeah, you have to run the
But
ship.
I'm involved. And if there's an issue, it comes to me within a matter of minutes.
Well, there you go. So I like the strategy there, and overall, I mean, but the forbearing, just the honest perspective. It's interesting. I haven't had anybody bring that up, but it is simply like one of the most obvious things you would imagine, because I was having a discussion with somebody I won't name, obviously, but I was like, whenever somebody gives you the slightest, even withholding information, not necessarily lying, but just not giving the information up front, you spend more time figuring out what happened. That causes the problem to be more difficult to solve. If you just would have said, here's what happened, I did it by accident, or I was trying to save a few bucks, or I thought I could get by with doing it this way. Okay, now we at least know what happened so that we can fix it more quickly. And
Everybody makes mistakes. But the best thing when you make a mistake you can do is admit it and figure out how to fix it.
well said. I had this happen. I won't name names. We had a guy working in corporate America where I was at, and they deleted the log files, maybe by accident, or maybe they were trying to do something, and they went back to try to cover that up, which caused more work for everyone else to figure out what happened. If they just said, hey, I had made a mistake one time, and I said, hey, I accidentally sent this message. I was testing this thing. I tested it to a buddy of mine who worked for the company. He got this pop-up message. Sure as heck, he called into the office. He goes, I got this message from the administrator for the Exchange server that said I've got this thing going on. But I already told my boss about it. So he came to me and said, no problem. And he understood I was learning and wasn't trying to destructively do anything.
Yeah.
But those are the little things in life that if we don't make mistakes when we don't learn
We're
anything.
humans.
Right? You agree that some of the biggest learning lessons we have are from the mistakes that we make.
Exactly.
Nothing that were intentional, but trying to do something. Eric, have you ever made a mistake in your life?
Yes, I have.
Is there any particular what you name anything? A time where you go, wow, I didn't realize I tried this and it didn't work out, and you learn faster than you would have learned any other way potentially, because if you got it right the first time, you didn't know all the things that could have failed. Have you experienced that?
I think I've learned a lot that being honest is the best thing you can do from the start. And I can't think of any mistakes that I've made on the top of my head, but I've definitely made little mistakes every day in life. You run a red light or something, or you mess up on the job. You want to just let whoever's in charge know and try to get it figured out as soon as possible.
There you go. There's some expert training there for coming from Dad. Yeah, you got to be that way. We're touching on some basics here, everybody, but I like to emphasize these things because so many people, it just becomes overlooked. You mentioned running a red light. You didn't look up and I'm going to run through this thing.
No.
There's all kinds of distractions. You look to your left, you look back, the guy was honking at you, somebody was cutting
something
across.
happened.
And the police officer may go, hey, did you notice this? It probably didn't get pulled over because not every, but literally, it was an accident. But you realize, boy, you run too many red lights, you could end up causing accidents, and those are things, but it's stuck in your head, right? And those are things we recognize. That's pretty cool. I'd like to get into the way media has evolved, and technology as a whole, because there's a lot of times when we have innovations that disrupt industries. I'm kind of creating a little bit of a ripple here. I've noticed some of my competitors now are using some of the strategies that I was employing. It was really interesting. I won't get into specifics, but with regard to airtime and these kinds of things, interesting. But we all are constantly evolving. We study our competitors, we study our colleagues, and we learn from those things. But technology literally is the game changer many times. And the companies, I use the example, Google came out of nowhere. A couple college guys at Stanford, I had a similar concept back in the day. I just didn't jump on it. But I was writing my master's thesis about this internet thing. What about advertising? When it went around web crawler, Google emerges. But Microsoft had the world by the tail. How many times have you seen in your space where there was a new innovation, a new technology, or what you would say that does impact from a technology perspective? Because heating and cooling has been pretty constant, I can imagine, for many years. But what are the innovations that change things and you've had to help your customers to understand so they can be more efficient with what they're trying to do?
There are more ways than we have a time today. I'll run a couple examples. I love it. I love where it's headed. Sometimes I'm concerned about it, but overall I love it how it's impacting our industry, and I'm sure it's impacting other industries. So AI, obviously, it's big now.
AI, everybody, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
For those who
So we're staying away from AI in a sense of customer service. So we answer phones 24/7, real human being. So AI now can answer a phone, and most people won't realize it's an AI.
it's not a real
I'm
person.
staying away from it because I test it. These AI companies come to me and they want to sell it to me, and I always test. Let me test your receptionist, and I catch them real fast that they're not on a level that I expect them to be. However, eventually we might get there. On other aspects, so that's one side that I'm still holding away from. Another side that we actually took a full advantage of is, I'm going to tell you quickly example, is any of my technicians has experience of, quickly to add in my head, if I would add my combined experience with over 20 technicians that we have, if I would add my combined experience, would be possibly average 20 years, maybe 400 or 500 years of experience, right? You know, some guys have a 40 years of experience, some have a 40 years of experience. But any of my technicians on the job site, regardless of their experience, possesses experience of entire company through technology. Because we can share quickly audio, video, pictures, images, data from tools, from gauges, with all of the technicians on the platform.
Wow.
And everybody can help that one technician if he's in a place where he's not sure how to resolve the problem.
Wow. Collaborative effort.
Collaborative
to
effort.
make sure that we all
And some
contribute.
of our team members have our oldest employee has been with the company. He actually was with original owner, the company that we purchased, since 1981, and he's still working. So you can imagine 44 years of experience.
Right.
And then we have tons of other guys with plenty of qualifications that can help in any situation. But regardless of, I can send Eric out, and this is his first summer working at the company because he's got to go back to college, to any house, and he can troubleshoot anything with this platform, because the rest of the team will assist him and tell him what to do.
Wow, the collaborative, I'm sorry, the consumptive, the whole knowledge of how many people that work for you, accessible at any time.
At any time,
by any
24/7.
technician. Gosh, that's got to be. That's
And everybody has it on their tablet. Just about 2 years ago, we didn't have that.
Wow.
So
Now,
we
is
have
this an
today.
innovation you came up with?
No. It's there's several platforms out there that service industries use, and so we use one of them. And when I got in the industry, I spoke with some older people back then, and I asked them, because at that time in the late 90s, we had the Nextels. Remember Nextels?
Yeah.
Before that, it was actually radio in a truck.
Right.
Before radio, you know how technicians did the calls? They would get a bag of quarters in the morning, and they would be dispatched to first call from office. It was before me, so some older guys know this. And they would drive to the first call, do the repair, and then they would look where the closest public payphone, remember that? Is call office back and find out where they go next.
I had to drive
So, and that was within the last 30 years.
Wow.
So within the last 30 years, we went from a payphone to technology that everything is in your hands. Entire company data is in your head. Not just company data. So we're train dealer. We have access to train data. So we can pull up exactly. We can pull up specs on any equipment, find out any charts we need on the site, in your basement or on your roof or wherever we are.
That's where I get to talk about my master's degree in communication, everybody. It's a communication platform.
Communication, yes.
If you can share that knowledge, the internet is what I wrote my thesis about. It will change the way the world functions. Great example there of how that's done. Stay tuned here. We're going to show you a little bit more of the excitement we have in our community. We got to visit some kids who do some boxing and some of the pros that are coming back around. I got to meet some of these guys. Buster Douglas, Michael Spinks, Roberto Duran. Here's the guy who set it up. Give it up for Scoo Calvin here, sharing some stuff he's done in the knows. But he doesn't like people to know. You're behind this thing for years now.
Yeah.
Scoo Calvin sitting here with me. How long have you been doing this whole boxing thing for kids?
It's our 5th year as of last week, 5 years.
5 years. Another huge event today. We get to see everybody here. You have some of the best boxers in the area. Roberto Duran.
All the way from Panama, and it's his birthday.
And it's his birthday. Alexander the Great.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Alexander is one of the best boxers in the history of St. Louis.
Yes, sir. 3-time champion.
And I know that Michael Spinks has been involved.
Michael Spinks would have been here, but they got sick, so they had to take Miss Flo to the hospital. Get well, Miss Flo.
And I understand that, but I was at the last event, and he was here. Buster Douglas. You got some other superstars coming out that people are familiar with. Are you allowed to say those right now?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a couple of those names of people you know they're going to be here coming soon.
Coming soon. Actually, we supposed to had Evander Holyfield in the building, but scheduling conflict, so he would be here next week to bless Dalewood at our Juneteenth event next Thursday. So next week, Evander Holyfield will be in the building.
So the point is, you are really connected. You've taken your connections and tried to make an awesome program for kids.
Yes.
That as I've talked to these kids, they really enjoy this. What do you think the kids benefit most from by being part of your boxing program?
Benefit the most is that they get to have fun, discipline. They get to win them beautiful belts, and they get to stay out of trouble.
There you go. I can tell you, I see these kids, they light up when they get the opportunity. And even when whether they win or they lose, you can tell they're excited to be part of this.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it really helps them develop as young men?
Yes.
Learning skills for life?
Yes, sir. You got to take the good with the bad. And like Tawan just said, he lost his first fight. That was 4 years ago. He haven't lost since then. He haven't lost in 4 years because he learned from a mistake. And we try to teach them win, lose, or draw. We got y'all back.
Well, great support you've got here. An awesome program. See all the guys that have been involved. And I was fortunate to be involved with the last one. I want to come up here and catch some of the excitement and talk to the kids after the fights. And keep up the good work, sir.
Thank you so much.
Scoo Calvin, everybody.
Cowboy.
We'll be back.
Yes, sir.
His name is Carter Rahmanovich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rahmanovich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! Well, there we have it, everybody. Lots of fun stuff we get to do in the community. We're looking for the leaders like you see there. Eric in the building here with us and his dad. Indoor comfort team. Comfort you can trust. Trust, that word is key, isn't it? There's so many of us that we're just hoping we find somebody that's going to do the job right and for a fair price, right? I've been talking to Eric about ways to improve our studio. I'm sorry, Adam, about our studio, and he's given me some great advice here. I think we're going to move on some stuff that I want to do to make this always try. The secret to success, would you agree, is always trying to improve.
I like the saying, road to success is always under construction.
I've not heard that way. Write that one down, everybody. Adam is teaching us quite a bit here, so that we can make sure that we bring up the up and coming generation, his son, and run the business that we have in front of us. Give me an example, though. I can only imagine there's got to be a number of people, just based on the reviews alone. You have a specific. I like to tell the story about somebody who you knew was in a tough situation, but you said, "Hey, we're going to help you out here. We're going to take care. We're going to make sure to make this right," because you saw somebody who might have been taken advantage of by another situation with another company. Not to name anybody, but how often has there been a time where you had to come in and you saw, and you already talked about that show a little bit. But there's times where it's like, "We'll help you."
Not on a daily basis, but when it's hot like this, on a weekly basis, we help someone in need.
Really?
And we step in. I'm not saying we do stuff for free, but we're going to either cut them a big discount, or as I like to say, break-even pricing. That does happen on a weekly basis, I promise you.
Wow. And that's a good strategy for business, I think, because people will recognize that, and that helps spread the word about a good company that people can trust, and ultimately turns into more business.
Then that homeowner goes out and tells everybody.
Exactly.
It's free advertising.
do what's right, and things will go your way, everybody. All right. Tell me the process then. We were just talking about it in our little break there. I'm going to fill out the little app for financing there, and then we take it from there. Is that normal process for most people, or how, first call you and have a discussion? What's the normal process for somebody who says they want to
we don't require or we don't ask people to be pre-approved or finance ready or anything. We try not to get there unless homeowner is asking for help. We absolutely have many financing options to offer, from 0% up to 72 months, which we offer right now, to several different options with interest, like a regular financing plans and so on and so on. So we can offer payments. So the easiest way to kind of get an idea, you can borrow $10,000 for as low as $132 a month.
Okay.
So $10,000 heating and cooling system, which is a decent equipment.
Yeah, $10,000. Yeah, that's usually an entire floor for
as low as $132 a month. So we have those plans as well.
Wow, that makes it affordable.
So the normal process does not go. We don't go and assume somebody needs financing. We go out and try to figure out what would work for them, how we can help them, and then when it comes to the financing point, we ask them if they need financing to make this happen. And if they do, obviously we have options. It's on our website. We have applications. It can be done right on site and so on.
Eric, how does that make you feel, being able to help people? I mean, obviously money is an important issue for everybody.
Oh yeah.
You get to learn a lot from your father here. I mean, how many people would love to have the opportunity to work directly for a man who has run a company from the beginning, started his own thing, and be personally mentored? This is going to be exciting for you and what you've been able to learn.
It is an amazing opportunity to be my father's son and to be out there and get to learn everything. I love it every day. I learned a lot this summer, and I learn a lot every day, and I like to just get 1% better every day.
You say 1% every day?
1%.
I love that one. I hadn't heard that one in a while. 1% every day, everybody. You know what that adds up to over time? Over 1 year, what does that mean?
365% better.
365% better if you've just made 1% improvement per day. It's easy. How do you eat an elephant, everybody? One bite at a time, right?
Yep.
Well said. I appreciate that. We got about 3 minutes left here. I love what you do there and how you help the community and what you do. When it comes down to it, what's the biggest question you hear from people? When I've got an objection. I've got something concerning me. What is it? Always price, or is it often? What's the biggest question people have when they call you? Do I need the repair?
There's more than one. There's more than one. Right now, being hot, biggest objection is how soon you can do it. That's right now. But obviously, when we're outside of peak seasons like hot summers, then there are other objections. Often it's cost.
Sure.
And I don't have a hard number down, but I'm going to say 97 to 98, if not 90, nearly 100% of times, we figure out the solution that's acceptable.
Yeah. Well, if it's two level-headed people that come together and say, "Hey, here's what we've got." I mean, I guess there's a rare occasion where you have somebody that's just like, "I won't do that." Well, they're probably making a bad decision because it seems like you're the guy who's going to make it fair and honest, no matter what. They have to be consistent 100% of the time. Would you agree?
We try every time, 100% times.
Every time. Is that a Jungian?
100% of times.
Every time, 100% of the time. I like that one. All right. Well, as we finish up here, we have got am I down to 2 minutes there? Looking at my clock, everybody. 2 minutes left here. What is it that gives you the most satisfaction about running a company, and what gives some people some insight? Maybe it's specific to your industry or what you enjoy as being a business owner that contributes to our community, provides a lot of jobs. You have a whole team that works for you. What do you like most about what you do?
Walking in the morning or walking in the afternoon in my office and warehouse and meeting my workers and talking to them how their day went and what they done that day, seeing a smile on their face. Sometimes smile comes from day's done, we're gonna go home now, but often that smile comes from, remember that old lady, we got her cooling going by 2 p.m. She was super happy.
Eric, is that cool for you to be able to experience this? And
Oh
see
yeah,
this
every day. I love making people happy when I leave the job.
And you get to experience that yourself. So you're out in the field actually learning from
Yes.
from the very start level to all the way through the company. And I can tell you from a personal friend who's a sponsor of the show, similar method, and started at the very basic level that you have to learn the business from the bottom to the top, and that'll get you ready to many years from now, 5 years from now, whatever. The timing is right, I guess, right? You'd say. And then you obviously, I love the story we have here, everybody, with Adam, because from literally a different part, obviously people might be able to tell you got a little bit of an accent there, but somebody came to this country, started at the very entry level, all the way up to running a successful company.
Started washing dishes.
Washing dishes. If you missed that first show, everybody, take a look at that. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our show here. This is the Your Little Castle show. Giddy up.